So you had to have a license, what's called a patent, from the Cape merchant to be able to trade, because they had a set exchange rate. So you don't want someone going off on their own and just totally trash your rate of exchange. Now you're getting half as much corn as you did before. So you had to have a license. And they had a big problem with ships coming into port, and the sailors wanted to get some trinket from the New World to take home. So they would trade for furs, and they had problems with them pulling spikes out of the ship. You know, the trade iron spikes that they made and such, you know. And also they were ruining the registry. So they, Sir Thomas Dale set up the laws more martial and divine. And one of the things they did when a ship came into port, they nailed to the mainmast the rate of exchange for all trade goods, so that the sailors would get a better deal, and also so that it wouldn't upset the rate of exchange. Commerce is very important, and the natives here in Virginia and in other areas very quickly become part of the international commerce. As time goes on, later into the 17th century and 18th century, when they start getting, early in the 18th century, they discovered that ginseng's growing here, American ginseng, which is more potent than the Asian type. So very quickly, that stuff's being shipped from Virginia to Hong Kong. And then they're bringing silks and stuff like that that they're trading to the natives, the decorative pieces and woolens from England. So, and also there's an extensive trade between the natives themselves. Like the tribes here on the coast made beads from shell, clam shell and whelk shell and stuff like that. And that's their portable wealth. They call that Roanoke. Up north they call it wampum peak. That's where wampum comes from, and the word peak also. They call it peak. Now peak describes a long tubular shell bead, where Roanoke is more of a disc shape. But this would be wampum or peak. So this would be favored by the tribes. If we were trading up Chesterfield Bay, further up in Maryland and Delaware area, they would prefer this kind of shell bead rather than the disc type of the Roanoke. They trade to them toys, all kinds of dolls, things like that. This is a toy windmill. They would all manner of goods. Everything except firearms. Everything, no swords or firearms. You can trade them axes, you can trade them hatchets, you can trade them knives, you can trade them hoes, and shovels. No firearms and no swords. After the 1622 massacre, they were shipping a bunch of arms from England over here to help re-equip the colony. And on it was a few cases of longbows, English longbows. Well, they took those off from Bermuda because they did not want that technology to reach the natives, because if they could take that, learn to improve their bows, put some iron tips on them, then they could punch through armor. And that's one of the advantages that the English had, was they had armor. Very tough. Even chainmail armor, old antique chainmail armor from the Middle Ages was useful because it stopped the stone-tipped arrows.
Thank you very much.
Your thumb goes there.
Okay.
And then you can put it in your...
And then we'll be firing. You guys have fire?
See how you get the thumb on there? But you put it up by your shoulder. It's designed for a person who's real big.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about fire?
And then when you pull the trigger, it's got enough force to knock your shoulder out.
Well,
It's designed so it won't do that, actually.
yeah, it's not...
I have fired one of these and loaded a bucket. Oh, we have a turtle chicken going there.
To be perfectly honest, since I don't have a cow here, and I'm not going to milk,
Just a second here.
I just went to the grocery store and bought heavy whipping cream. Okay?
And you can shake it in a jar too, I think. I've
Yes,
done it with Girl
I've heard
Scouts,
that,
yeah.
yep.
The one that got their head cut. There's two goats.
Yeah, there's a series of goats up there at the top of the barn.
There's one that's like staked and then one that wouldn't let Lindsay stake it. So
Like, the goats? I'm like, no, we didn't see any goats.
There. Okay, we got butter. We got buttermilk. I got bread rising.
Perfect for the cornbread later. Bread rising.
Here, stir this into your onions because it will
Absolutely.
add a nice butter flavor.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Almost cut my fingernail off.
I'm gonna have a sword in this hand, like that. Okay? You're gonna attack me with your sword. But what I want you to do, I want you real slowly, like in slow motion, bring it right up to there, like you're trying to stab me right there. And I'm gonna show you how I would use this. Go ahead. Okay, I would push you out of the way with that, and then with my sword, I would come in and attack you. Do it again, right there. Now if I'm lucky, I get you caught like that in the cans. Now I have full control of your sword. I can pinch your nose, pull your ear, and poke you in the belly. That was when you see them using daggers. Okay, that was when you could use a small buckler or shield. You could take your coat and use it to throw in their face, throw over their sword. A lot of things you could do with the offhand. Worst comes to worst, you have a glove on here. Go do that again to me. Okay. I just push you out of the way like that and come in and attack. Now I'm going to show you something else. Who do you think is stronger, you or me? You hold on to that. I'm going to prove you're stronger than I am. Okay, I want to make sure, I want you to come over here and stand about 6 to 7 feet away from us. Okay, you hold that sword up. Okay? Now, I'm going to put this right here. I want you to try to push my blade back up another couple feet there. I want you to try to push my blade in that direction. Hard as you can. You can use both hands if you want. Push my blade. Push it over. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, now. Do it again. Hold it up straight. Okay, now I'm going to try to hold your blade back. I want you to try to push it over again. What was the difference? You won when my blade was here on your blade, and I won when my blade was here on your blade. What do you think the difference is?
Mechanical engineer's explanation.
You play baseball? Yeah? Okay. Leverage. Pure leverage. Okay? That's what it's called. Am I right? You want to explain it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Mechanical engineers, civil engineers all know this.
Okay.
It's the amount of torque you can put on the handle, right? The force that can be developed along the blade when he's got it down there is much higher than when it's out at the tip. It takes a whole lot more strength to try to deflect the tip when he's holding it out there. That's why you can't beat that. Okay?
So if I'm trying to defend myself, okay, where do I want to put my blade? On the weak part of your blade, or the foible part.
Right.
Okay? I want to use the forte, or the strong part of my blade. If you want to defend yourself, if I do that, if I have you here, you want to slide up so you're like that and push me out of the way. And that's some of the basic moves of historical fencing. But this would be like this in front of me. Where can you put that blade on me where I can't block this? Can you get it on my face? Can you get it on my body? Can you get it on my... You've got to go way down there, okay? If you do that, little simple geometry. Go ahead and put your sword on the tip of my leg, down on my calf, past my dagger. Look how close you have to be to me to do that. And I've got a sword just as big as yours right here. I can almost hit you in the nose with my hand. So if you decide to go attack my lower leg or feet, you're so close to me, I'm going to make a straight line attack and hit you first. A lot of geometry to fencing.
How are you? Good. What do you think that thing is? Huh? Give it a try. Try and grab it right here, pump it. That's our bilge pump. That's how we get any water that leaks into the boat out of the boat. What happens if the boat fills with water? some tropical hardwoods in the interest of longevity, so that the ships will last longer with the cost of making a replica. And we have a modern polyurethane caulking between the seams, but we still use cotton and oakum driven in furs. But the problem, we don't use pine pitch anymore. We used to try it on some of our older reproductions. In Virginia, 9,500 degrees, it gets all sticky. Yeah, it gets all over our visitors. And
So what's this plank?
this type of wood is actually called silver bali. It's indigenous to Suriname, down in South America. Very similar. Yeah, very similar to teak, but a lot more readily available and not as expensive as teak.
How about these masts?
Masts,
Look like
they're
pine.
Douglas fir.
Oh, Douglas fir. I guess it makes them a little lighter.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use an oak here. That gives them pliability, so they a lot of strength to weight ratio. And they would have used a pine for their mast as well.
Now, are these secured here, or do they all go all the way down to the
They
boat?
go all the way down. Another 12 feet or so right to the
That's
keel.
all. Okay. That's what I was gonna ask.
Normally
It's
the
that heavy
whole.
pole, though. I don't care what you make it out of.
Oh yeah. Normally at Jamestown you can go down in the hold and see everything. When we go on these outreach voyages, we move in bunks, and the 13 crew members, we all live down there. So that's why we keep it closed when we're off. But at the museum, it's open for the public.
Is this motor assisted?
We do have motors that we're able to maneuver with, away from docks and into.
Is it built in, or you all just hang one off the side?
No, we have a couple small diesels that are built in. Most of anytime we can, we.
Wait for us.
split peat and pork pottage over the fire, which is over soup. That would have been a main staple of their diet. They don't want to use up the land that they are growing tobacco with, so they're still shipping in all of their food from England. So, yeah, it's real food.
They're gonna be eating much meat. For wild, like rabbit and stuff.
They're not really hunting that much either, so they're shipping in a lot of food that's salted. And so you would soak the fish and soak the pork in order to be able to use it. Yeah, they actually have a reasonable amount of food. March is their most challenging month.
Is that because they're running out, haven't quite got their crops started?
Because they're running out, yes. Do you guys have any other questions I can help you?
It's actually pretty big.
Do you have any questions for her? No? Well, if you wish to, you can go upstairs and see the bed chambers. All right?
Okay, thank